All right, this is your market recap for November 3rd, 2025. Today, as you can see, had a pretty small day. We had a nice rally up here, but then kind of the rest of the day we came and took away from it. So go down to the hourly time frame. We can see here that market opened here on Sunday. We played bullish, came down, retraced. SMT of these lows was forcing us up with draws at this high. Now, I personally thought that this right here was just solely because of New York session open, and that we'd actually no, this I think this happened. Yeah, we'll see it on the lower time frame, but this was like 9 o'clock, right? Market open did take us down. I thought we'd stop here, but we kept going lower, and then we never actually returned back to these highs. I thought for sure with Friday having a decent retrace here, and with this SMT here playing bullish and draws up here, that we'd retrace and then play bullish from there, but that is not the case. What really ended up happening, it appears so. Nothing on the hourly as far as reasons for why we stopped. The only thing that I can guess, and if you think about it, it really makes sense. Um, if market open has some sort of liquidity that it's seeking, it will go to get it, right? Especially at market open, it's going to go with a lot of volume. So if we're drawn to these highs and we're this close, I mean, how big are we talking? Seven handles, give or take. That is child's play, at least as market open is concerned. I mean, it really doesn't take much to take that liquidity. So the failure to sweep this should have been like flag number one, that we're not looking to play bullish. And if this wasn't enough for flag number one, the fact that we did not retrace or give any attention to these two 15-minute fair value gaps there would be reason number two. Because even if New York session open did fail to sweep it, if we're this close, we should have enough volume to retrace no farther than these two. But as you can see, we retrace much farther than that. But as far as 15-minute goes, nothing as well. Actually, no inverse over here. No, not really. Not really. It's really just this order block. That's what we're playing with this. But I don't really trade order blocks, and I don't know. Sorry, no, that's not an order block. Is that an order block? No, that's an order. That's not an order. A breaker block. Sorry, that's a breaker block. But I don't have enough confidence with them to use them in my trades. So what can we do? We can see here, market open, rally. This is what I'm talking about. If market wanted to take out this high at market open, it would have taken it at market open. And like I mentioned, this right here, there's those two 15-minute fair value gaps. We blow through them. So that, especially with after this low, when we retraced so little, that should have been like, okay, figure number one as to why we're not playing bullish, right? And we did have SMTs running at the time, but I believe at some point this became an SMT, and before that it was this one. So this was an SMT until NQ took it, and then this one was also an SMT, of course, until NQ took it. But I traded on this retrace right there. So here, SMT is going to go down to the 1 minute. Right here, this was an SMT. Look at the closures at constant encroachment of the 1 hour. Good volume up, but we had this little tiny 5 minute here that stopped us dead in our tracks. But, looking back, we were pretty bearish. Not only did we fail to take this high by a little bit at market open, but we failed to retrace and react off of these 15-minute bullish fair value gaps as well. From there, we came up, used this 5-minute fair value gap to keep us in a range, and then lunch expanded. We rounded up here, and then we start to attack this low right here. We don't really have too much volume in PM session, but still, nonetheless, we hit this, and then that was our target. So we didn't really do much for the rest of the day. 1 minute time frame. Here come all the SMTs. We had low time from SMT of these highs. Once again, close to that. So if we were playing bullish and we swept this, 100% a retrace. But SMT of these highs this close to it, maybe not a retrace. Maybe it just doesn't have enough volume to get there. We then come down, like I mentioned, 15-minute fair value gaps throughout here, have zero consideration for those. Come down, contra encroachment reaction, didn't quite do it. Fair value gap kept it. Came down, SMT of these lows, playing bullish. I think my entry was somewhere up here. And just the grouping of price, the closures there, and then how closely it did with the bottom, as well as this down here being an SMT at the time. I liked the trade. I was bullish, but I didn't take into account how it reacted at this high. And then from there, obviously, that 5-minute takes us down once again. Dip down here to this low, which is our AM session target. So we consolidate until lunch, which then we finally start moving again, coming up. I don't believe to anything in particular. No. Yeah, we just came up. Contra encroachment's definitely there, right there. But other than that, not a whole lot. No inefficiency or whatnot to get us there. But market opened once again at, or sorry, PM session started at 1:30. SMT of these highs, not quite at the macro, which is unfortunate. But that takes us down to this low, which is our target for PM session, because from there we just go horizontal. So today, 100% could have been traded. I don't know entirely what I would have done. If this were the case, I don't recollect there being any buy side SMTs, but even so, with a sweep like this of this low, I'd want more of a retrace. So if I was bearish, I just wouldn't have entered today, which would have saved me some money because I did lose. But I'm okay with that because I really like to trade. It simply was one thing I failed to take into effect. One, how it reacted with this high, and two, how it just completely ignored these two 50-minute inefficiencies. Now, higher time frame, we're in this range, right? So I don't think we're going to. We're definitely creating our sell side wick. I don't foresee us playing too bearish. We do, you know what? We may be bearish this week. We have this huge liquidity void, mind you. It is filled on ES. It is at least halfway filled. So that's another thing why I thought we were playing bullish, is I thought that target was fulfilled, but it might not be, right? So we might seek lower prices with these relative equal lows there, and obviously this liquidity void. But we could also stay in this range and then play bullish. I don't know. I am kind of a little, I wouldn't say lost, but this price action is not giving me the easiest time I've had. So we'll really just have to see. But this has been your market recap for October. It's not October anymore. November 3rd, 2025.